Heaven, pearly gates, clouds, and friendly angels. But what if heaven is stranger? Much stranger. For that, look no further than Dante's Paradiso. A sequel to Dante's Inferno, it's an epic journey through heaven and its 9 sacred realms. According to this version, heaven is inhabited by souls of history's most famous, frightening angels beyond human comprehension, and whatever this is. So, let's journey through Paradiso and explore the map of heaven as envisaged by Dante. In Christianity, those who have lived a good life ascend to heaven. Something you may be surprised to learn is that the Bible doesn't say much about what actually happens for those who get there. Instead, it's left to our imagination. And one Italian poet took this as a challenge. In 1321, Dante Alighieri finally released his epic masterpiece, The Divine Comedy. It's a whirlwind tour through the Christian afterlife and an inventory of those who live there. In the 2 previous installments, Inferno and Purgatorio, Dante travels through the depths of hell and ascends the mountain of purgatory. And now, finally, the glory of paradise awaits. According to the poet, heaven is made up of 9 concentric rings, each one corresponding to a different type of virtue. What's more, many of these heavenly realms are actually real bodies in our solar system, and like any good sci-fi, each planet is inhabited by an array of unique characters. And in Paradiso, we'll meet them. Joining Dante on his voyage is Beatrice. She will act as Dante's guide through the cosmos, to boldly take Dante where no man has gone before. And with that, we're just about ready for takeoff. Things are going to get a little strange. Our story begins with Dante and Beatrice breaking through Earth's upper atmosphere. Having launched from Mount Purgatory, they are headed straight for the nearest celestial body, the Moon. As they touch down on the lunar surface, they are met by a handful of souls. These are the inconstant, those who lived righteously but were forced to break their holy vows. Here, they meet a woman called Picardia. In life, she was a nun, but was forced to renounce her habit after being pressured into a marriage. Despite none of this being her doing, she is nonetheless relegated to heaven's outermost sphere. And from what we know about the Moon today, this place is pretty lonely. That said, it's still paradise, of course, and I suppose there's plenty to do to pass the time. Golf, lunar vehicles, and a nice view. Hey, it's not all that bad. Travelling to their next destination, Dante and Beatrice arrive at the planet Mercury. This small planet is home of the ambitious, those who propelled themselves to greatness. While there, they meet Emperor Justinian, the 6th century ruler of Byzantium, and certainly one of the most ambitious figures in history. From humble beginnings, he sought to restore the Roman Empire to its former glory. And he was a man of his word. He eventually retook Rome, codified Roman law, and began construction of the Hagia Sophia, once the largest church in the world. Not a bad reign, if you ask me. His ambition clearly earned him a place in heaven, but only to a certain extent. Dante learns that ambition, no matter how noble, is always tainted by a desire for personal glory. Is there ever such thing as a good deed? With an average temperature of 475 degrees Celsius and scalding rains of sulfuric acid, the actual surface of Venus would be better suited to Dante's Inferno. But in Paradiso, Venus is the home of those guided by love. The ancient Greeks had many different types of love: eros, the love between partners; storge, the love between family; and philia, the love between friends. This last one applies to Charles Martel, a nobleman from the House of Anjou, and actual friend of Dante. This is part of an ongoing trend in the Divine Comedy, where Dante populates hell with his enemies and heaven with his friends. It's clear that Charles has made it into Dante's good books, quite literally. As they talk Italian politics, Dante notices that Beatrice is glowing brighter than before. She reveals to him that as they ascend each sphere, they are also getting closer to God. Dante and Beatrice travel higher into the heavens, leaving behind the spheres touched by Earth's sinful shadow. They now arrive at the sun, a realm of pure golden light. It's the home of the wise. Among the luminaries is St. Thomas Aquinas, the legendary theologian of the Catholic Church, and a key figure in medieval philosophy. He is perhaps best known for writing the Summa Theologica, a compendium of Christian teachings exploring everything from predestination to whether angels can communicate telepathically. Thomas Aquinas' writings clearly inspired Dante, and you can see this when reading Paradiso. Alongside each description of heaven are dense theological discussions between Dante and Beatrice. It's one part divine tour, other part textbook. The search for life on Mars has long evaded scientists and astronomers, but no one thought to look for the afterlife on Mars. According to Dante, the red planet is inhabited by the souls of crusaders, those who died and killed for their religion. As they arrive, the souls here gather into the shape of a cross, specifically a Greek cross, where all four arms are of equal length. Often worn by crusaders, it's another symbol of Christian warfare. On the planet's red surface, Dante meets his own great-great-grandfather, Cacciaguida, a knight who died fighting on the Second Crusade, never to return to his hometown in Florence. Dante catches his ancestor up to speed about all that's happened in the city since his departure, and it becomes clear that Florence has declined quite rapidly in the year since. In Dante's day, it's been ruined by rampant corruption and political rivalry. Cacciaguida then foretells Dante's fate, warning him that one day he'll be banished from Florence. Of course, in real life, Dante wrote much of the Divine Comedy while in exile, so this prophecy came true. The pair arrive now at the King of Planets, Jupiter, the realm of noble rulers who upheld justice. Here, Dante and Beatrice witness another celestial display. The souls of the just arrange themselves into the shape of an eagle. This strange amalgamated creature is a living mass of kings and queens, fused into a singular cosmic entity, a symbol of ancient Rome. Within the eagle's fleshy mass of bodies, Dante recognizes one of history's most powerful emperors, Trajan. Though Dante claims Trajan secretly converted, the pagan emperor's presence sparks a question. How is it fair that souls born before Christ are condemned to hell? The eagle responds, its voices speaking in unison. The Lord works in mysterious ways. Fair enough. Just like this eagle is a horror beyond human comprehension, divine justice is also beyond human comprehension. After chatting with the eagle, Dante's focus again shifts to Beatrice, who is now shining more brilliantly than ever, another sign that they're drawing closer to God. Reaching further out into the cold depths of the solar system, Dante and Beatrice arrive at Saturn, the realm of the contemplatives. Here, Dante encounters monks and hermits, souls who devoted their entire lives to prayer and meditation. Unlike the previous spheres, where hymns and music filled the air, there is an eerie silence to Saturn. No one sings. Should they disturb the deep, meditative peace? Of course, that would mean that the only sound present would be the sound of the planet itself. These eerie, otherworldly sounds are radio waves generated from the planet, an unusual choice for concentration music, if you ask me. As they prepare to make their departure, a golden ladder descends from above. Dante begins to climb and ascends to the higher celestial realms. The sphere of the fixed stars, also known as the constellations, is the realm of the holiest people to have walked the earth. According to Dante, the stars are not just distant lights, but the souls of the saints, those who devoted their lives to God perfectly and achieved the ultimate fulfillment of human existence. And what does Dante do here? Well, he has to sit an exam. Before Dante are the three apostles, Peter, James, and John, each posing a different question. What is faith? What is hope? And whom do you love? Dante seems to have studied for this and answers each question correctly by quoting scripture. But what Dante has not prepared for is being suddenly blinded by St. John's holy light. When he regains his sight, he sees St. Peter engulfed in a furious red glow. Peter suddenly launches into a scathing rant against the corruption of the church, condemning Pope Boniface VIII as a desecrator of the faith. It's a devastating critique, especially coming from the first pope himself. But then again, these criticisms are technically Dante's words. According to the Inferno, Pope Boniface VIII would have a seat reserved for him in the depths of hell. In any case, Peter commands Dante to record these criticisms in a poem. And seeing as we're reading all this now, it seems like Dante fulfilled this command to a T. Now we're entering the really esoteric region of heaven. Beatrice leads Dante to a realm known as the Primum Mobile, the last of the physical realms where all time and motion come from. Ahead of Dante are the angels, celestial beings arranged according to their rank. From the minor angels, archangels and principalities, who are involved in human affairs, to the dominions, virtues and powers, who are the celestial administrators and responsible for executing God's will in creation. Further still, we have the thrones, also known as the Ophanim. They appear as interlocking wheels covered with eyes. Then the cherubim, multi-winged beings with various animal faces, associated with divine wisdom and knowledge. And lastly, the seraphim, the highest order. These are six-winged beings of pure fire, believed to have been created before the physical universe itself. This eldritch collection make up the Bible-accurate angels, good friends of the channel at this point. In any case, the angels here work tirelessly to maintain the cosmic order, all by singing. Their hymns sustain the very fabric of reality itself, a fabric which will end in this next and final realm. Dante crosses the final threshold and enters a realm unlike any other. This is the Empyrean, where reality itself dissolves into pure, radiant light. Regaining his vision from the bright light, Dante sees something ahead which defies logic. A colossal white rose. On its petals sits rows and rows of angels and saints, singing together in perfect harmony, where souls can be one with God. As Dante admires the celestial flower, Beatrice assumes her true form, the embodiment of divine wisdom and revelation. Returning to the flower, her role as Dante's guide is finally complete. Now, at last, Dante is ready to gaze upon God. As he peers into the radiant light, he perceives 3 interwoven rings, each representing a person of the Holy Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. To Dante, this is what God actually looks like. In this single infinite moment, Dante sees the entire universe in all its vastness, all creation bound together in perfect harmony, endlessly unfolding. At last, Dante understands. And there we have it. This moment marks the end of Dante's Paradiso, and with it, the conclusion of the Divine Comedy. Throughout this journey, we've traversed the planets, met its inhabitants, and experienced mind-bending visions of the divine. Our poet has come a long way from being lost in the woods. Over the course of 100 cantos, Dante has descended through the depths of hell, climbed to the mountain of purgatory, and travelled across the stars of paradise. Of course, Inferno remains the most popular, and for good reason, but I have a very special place for Paradiso. It reads like an extended epilogue, where things just keep getting better and better. As a whole, the Divine Comedy gives us an unparalleled insight into the medieval afterlife, but also Dante's own world. The entire poem doubles up as a catalogue of the poet's friends and enemies, mostly enemies though. Shortly after completing the Divine Comedy, Dante would later die in the Italian city of Ravenna. In all his remaining years, he would never again return to his home city of Florence. But then, 700 years later, Dante's story took a surprising turn. In June 2008, the City Council of Florence formally revoked Dante's exile. finally giving the redemption he had long sought for in life. As for Beatrice, somewhere drifting in the vastness of our solar system is a quiet asteroid named 83 Beatrice after Dante's guide. It will remain there for eternity, circling among the heavenly spheres for all time. Hey, thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this one. If you liked this video and want to see more, why not subscribe? A like and a comment also go a really long way. Well, there we have it. The full Divine Comedy. I'm so glad that so many of you enjoyed this series. If you'd like to watch the full thing, be sure to click this playlist here. In the meantime, what would you like to see next? Anyway, I look forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye.